if there's a silver lining is that, the Hawks lost, the Bulls lost.
Yeah.
Washington lost their long 10-game winning streak as well to last night. So a lot of things happened that actually worked out for the Knicks, and unfortunately Chris Paul showed up in the last 4 minutes of the game and hit three, just unbelievable shots. And, you and I remember we were talking about whether or not we thought the Knicks should go after Chris Paul. And
I was wrong about that.
Well, time out. Well, it kind of turned out that, they did go after him.
No, they did, but
he didn't want to come here, and I understand
didn't
that.
want them to get him.
But then when you pair him with Devin Booker and you see them play, now they didn't play all that well against Brooklyn, and Brooklyn took care of business when they saw them. But obviously, as you were pointing out yesterday, man, you wanted them to beat Brooklyn to come in maybe a little fat and sassy against the Knicks, as opposed to, driven, and, they're still in a fight for the number one seed out there in the West with Utah. So, they played their ass off late in this game. And I have to give the Knicks a lot of credit defensively yesterday because, they stopped them, I think, 3 or 4 times with 24-second violations.
Yeah.
And it was a playoff atmosphere against one of the best teams in the league. And they played well. They really did it. They had a couple turnovers at the end. They didn't hit all their threes. I thought when Julius hit the last 3 down in the corner, I'm like, oh man, this may be one of these miraculous situations that was going to unfold. But this one shot that Chris Paul hit from from almost the top of the keys, falling backwards, the clock is winding all the way down, and he just throws it up, and it hits nothing but net.
Yeah.
What are you going to do about that? They're all over him. And that's truly like a top 10 player in the league. That when the game is on the line, somehow their game elevates. And we've seen Kyrie do this. We've seen James Harden do this. We've seen Kevin Durant do this.
We've seen Julius Randle do it.
We've seen Julius Randle do it. We know that, Steph Curry can do it on a given night. We know Jokic can do it. We know Doncic can do it. There's LeBron and Anthony Davis. And
I would think the Jokic of Denver.
Yeah, Jokic.
So, there's about 10 or 15 guys that elevate at that point in the game. But last night was spectacular for Chris Paul. I don't know how else to put it. Devin Booker was great. Bridges was good in the fourth quarter. But those last 3 or 4 series that Phoenix had the ball, and Chris Paul is throwing those miracle shots up, and they're not even hitting the rim. They're going.
He was unbelievable, and give him credit at 35 years old. And someone who has a hefty number on a contract, and it was almost like, do we really want to deal with this guy? A lot of the NBA said, I'm not so sure. I don't know. Old, lot of money, couple of years. And the Suns said, no, this is exactly the type of guy that we need at this point in our organization. He's gone there, and he's been great. Now, I just think about if this is the Chris Paul the Knicks would have gotten, where would they be? Would they be better than Milwaukee? Would they be better than the 76ers? And it really was an illustration. As great as the Knicks have been, and I'm not knocking this roster at all, it still does show you to get to that upper echelon in the NBA, you need 2 of those guys. And the Knicks have Julius Randle, who has been awesome. And then some nights it's R.J. Barrett. Some nights it's Derrick Rose. Some nights it's Reggie Bullock hitting a ton of threes. They're missing one more guy
they're not all
to
there.
break up into that other echelon, and that was an illustration last night.
You are 100% correct, my friend. But again, around the trading deadline, there was all this talk about bringing this guy in.
And I'm glad they didn't, to be honest with you.
We're all kind of glad they didn't because we wanted this team to finish it out, and this team plays hard for their coach, and they play defense, and that's evident by the 24-second clock violations and things of that nature. So, look, if you're going to tell me they're going to go 9-1 in every 10-game span, I'll take it every day of the week. So,
and this is one of the best teams in the NBA.
Right, and like I told you, they have to win these next 2. There's no question. You got to beat Chicago and you got to beat Houston. And the reason for that is because then they go on that road trip and then they end up with a 3-game homestand. So it's not going to be easy. There's no question about that. But nothing in sports that is gained is ever easy, and we all know that. And that's why last night, disappointing, yes, but I didn't go to bed thinking, oh my God, the season's over or any of that crap.
No.
I just thought it meant the team played hard and they had a chance, and Chris Paul took over the game.
Yeah, I didn't feel like the season was over. I didn't feel like they were going to drop. How could you? They won 9 in a row. They lose one game.
I'm just trying to put in perspective the loss, and I'm not going to kill myself over it and just I lament the fact that Chris Paul just went off at the end of the game.
But I was frustrated in sort of a good way, though. It's a good feeling to get that wrapped up in a game this late in the season for the Knicks in the regular season where it means something. But yeah, of course I wanted to win, especially the way that they started. I mean, they were up 15 early in the game, and then the Suns kept chipping away and chipping away and chipping away, and Mikal Bridges was really, really good, and then Chris Paul took over. I mean, Devin Booker was just when he gets going downhill, man, he is a tough guy to stop. And he's gotten bigger. He's put on some weight, and he starts flying towards the basket. You can't defend it.
Isn't he dating a Kardashian?
He is. She was at the game last night.
She was.
Kendall Jenner. Yeah, I saw her there. She is. No, she is.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Yeah, so she is.
Why does she have the Jenner last name then?
Because she is, well, all right, she's part of the Kardashian
clan.
Right.
Yeah, but she's not a Kardashian.
Her dad is not Robert Kardashian.
Right.
Her dad is Caitlyn Jenner, who was Bruce Jenner. That's her dad. And then her mom is, of course, Kris Jenner, who is the mom of Kourtney, Kim, and Khloe, and Rob Kardashian. You got it?
See, you are so on it, and this is why I could just go to you for the go-to stuff and to really know what's going on in pop culture.
Yeah, she was there. She was in some sort of luxury box last night. I saw an Instagram video. A lot of people showing up at the Garden, celebrities.
Oh, all the celebrities are showing up
they're
again.
coming back, yeah. They're coming back to the Garden. Jon Stewart.
Free tickets.
Yeah, Chris Rock.
You think those guys pay for their tickets? Like, I pay for my tickets.
I think they do. I do.
No, I don't think so.
I think if you...
I think the Garden has got their head so far up there, you know what? That
it does create that sort of, hey, the Knicks are the cool
Spike
thing to do
pays.
thing.
I think he's like, and that's why if you pay for your ticket, you can be really be a hardcore fan.
Yeah.
And if you want to be critical, you can be critical.
Yeah, I do think that...
You get free tickets, I'm sorry.
All right, this is what I think. I think that if a guy goes to a game or two a year and then reaches out to the Knicks and says, can you help me out, they'll take care of him. Yeah. I think if someone like Spike, who's there all the time, or like McEnroe's there all the time, guys like that, I believe Howard Stern talked about how he would pay for his tickets there as well. He'd go a lot. So I do think there's some people that go a lot. There's some people that call up, hey, I'm in town. I'd like to go to a Knicks game, and they set them up.
Celebrity tickets or something like that.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
You ever get that treatment over there?
No.
Celebrity ticket situation?
No.
Knicks or Rangers?
No.
You're telling the truth?
Yes, 100%.
Wow. Good for you.
Yeah.
Did you turn down that situation and say, no, you know what?
No, never have. No.
Wow.
I'll say the Devils treat me better than probably any team in the area.
They are great.
I think a lot of that has to do with the Mikey Strong, the charity aspect of everything. They're trying to get me, and I'm like, there's just no way. I mean, you can't buy me. I don't care what. You can give me a piece of the team, and I'm still going to root for the Rangers.
Of course.
Care, so.
No, but they roll out the red carpet.
They do.
I mean, they're absolutely great.
And you've been there. You've seen it.
Well, they've got that whole organization deal where it's them and the Sixers. And
right.
They know what they're doing. Building.
They know how to do it.
They know how to do it.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
They certainly do.
And by the way, just so everybody understands, I did get kind of a weird, I guess it's an apologetic letter from the Bengals yesterday in regards to the Fagese jersey that they sent me, the Burrow jersey. They just don't have the regular jerseys yet because, supply chain issues.
Yeah, what had happened was we didn't get the jerseys in yet, supply chain issues.
Right. Well, I don't think they were even thinking like the Jets thought. And when the Jets revealed their new jerseys and they sent out those beautiful boxes to all the media members, we weren't the only ones.
I know, yeah.
I mean, it was all the media members, and that's how you do it. You do it professionally.
And when the Jets are showing you up, you got a problem.
No, I always thought the Jets from the business side are buttoned up and locked up, and they're good. They understand it. Mm-hmm. Now they can finally get the football side, to go right along with that.
That would be great.
They should be okay.
That would be great.
Now, I was watching a little bit of Phil's, draft special last night.
Yeah.
And he was right on it. He was all over it. He's you could tell that he's seen these guys like in their underwear and stuff like that.
Of course. Well, that's what he does.
Yeah, they spend a lot of time scouting and looks at things and arm angles and things of that nature. But they were good. That was a good show last night.
Guys leaping in boxer briefs.
Right.
Yeah, what was not a good show was the Yankees. I mean, Matt Harvey was really, really good.
Hey, it was a Harvey Monday, man.
Really, really good. And then you have the whole situation. So first and foremost, there's nothing about what happened there with the Gio Urshela hit down the line that should have at least got the Yankees to 4-3. There's nothing about this that was good. And, I mean, first of all, Aaron Judge can't run you out of an inning. That's the first thing. What are you doing? There's 2 outs. There's not going to really make a difference if you're second or third. I understand ball gets by, whatever. But still, don't run yourself out of an inning when you're down. And then the other part of it is you get another situation where you get this over-officious balloon head umpire that has to tell the Yankees, sorry you ran out of time to challenge this. What? Sorry you ran out of time. This guy was they were probably chirping at him with balls and strikes. He was probably upset. And then all this is going on. Then he's upset that Aaron Boone's yelling at him. And he goes, sorry, you're out of time. You can't challenge it. And, of course, you have Aaron Boone get tossed as he's screaming in the face of the umpire.
Which now takes another 5 minutes.
It does. It's just insanity. I mean, I know that this is sort of, it's gotten to the point where it's too much complaining about the umpires. But every night you can have a problem because they give you a problem every night. And then these guys, I mean, they act like they're untouchable. They act like, the people pay tickets to show up to see them. And then they get all, hoity-toity out there and end up throwing guys.
Hoity-toity.
Yeah, throwing guys out and doing all this garbage. I'm tired of it.
I mean, at the end of the day, it all comes down to whether or not Aaron Judge did the right thing, and he didn't.
He didn't.
And we wouldn't have to be in this situation if he just would have just stayed at second base and realized that, it's more important to keep the inning moving as it is as opposed to getting third base. So I agree that the run should have counted. I agree with David Cohn. David Cohn was just hog wild over this whole thing.
Sure.
And just, he was right on. He was right on. So I have no problem with any of that stuff. But still, it goes back to the point that Aaron Judge can't do what he did.
I agree. It all starts there.
Because if he stays on second base, maybe this inning continues. Maybe they're starting to, get to the and by the way, what's his name? The lefty for the Orioles couldn't find a freaking plate.
I know. Yeah, so it's just you basically in this situation, you're your own. You shoot yourself in the foot with that. But yeah, so there's 2 issues. One, the Yankees still couldn't come up with that big hit again. Gio Urshela had it, but they needed one more, and they weren't even allowed to do that because Judge ran him out of the inning. And also, I mean, that call should have been reversed. They should have had a chance to look at it and should have been reversed.
I think it's great that Matt Harvey won, though.
Yeah, it was the best he's been in years last night.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I know.
Just goes to show you about the dearth of pitching, though, in Major League Baseball. There's just not enough of it.
So after the Yankees win 3 out of 4 against Cleveland, of course, you got a little winning streak. Now you're back to losing 2 in a row. You're losing to Baltimore.
This is one of the reasons.
Bad again.
One of the reasons why this team has won over 100 games over the last couple of years is because of Baltimore.
Yeah, I know. So if you don't start getting strong and beefing up on them, getting right and stacking wins against them, then who are you?
I mean, I'm trying to think. They won like 17 games 2 years ago, and
it's crazy.
When you look at the amount of games,
17-2 against them.
Right.
Yeah, just stupid stuff.
I don't know. It's just frustrating. So, I just don't feel like baseball season's really gotten underway yet.
I agree, but when
you know why? Because I'm so fixated with the Rangers and the Knicks,
which is great,
and the NFL draft coming this week. It's like, all right, baseball's there. I know it's there, and I can flip it on and watch it. But I just for some reason, it hasn't grabbed me yet.
Yeah, I think that the Knicks are a big part of it for me. I know as I'm trying to watch both of them at the same time or focusing on one or another, I mean, the energy, even with a not full Garden because of COVID restrictions, and watching those games and good teams, Chris Paul and Devin Booker in the Garden, and the energy that's there, and you flip over and you're seeing, Gleyber Torres strike out, or Aaron Judge pop out, or Gary Sanchez
Gleyber Torres,
the ball to third, or
Gleyber Torres throwing the ball wide of first base again, but luckily coming back with the double play.
I mean,
at this point, there's 2 reasons why I watch a baseball game. One is Jacob deGrom, and the other one is Garrett Cole.
I thought you were going to say because you had to.
No. I mean, like those, they are appointment TV.
Of course they are.
Those
They've been
2
great.
players are appointment TV. I don't care what anybody says. It's just that, I don't know. It's just so many other things are going on right now.
No, I understand. But
and trying to focus on this NFL draft, and the more I think about it, the more I was listening to those guys last night on CBS Sports Network, I'm like, this is the one year where you asked me yesterday, are you convinced about this guy? Are you convinced about that guy? I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea. I really don't have an idea.
Well, the teams don't either.
That's what I'm saying. And it's, I mean, the Giants are going to be in a really interesting spot. We talked about it yesterday, but I think I don't know if Gettleman trades down. I don't know if there's going to be one of these top wide receivers there, and how do you pass on him when you need an edge rusher more than anything else? You need linebackers, you need a front seven, you need offensive linemen. Do you add another top end wide receiver to a group that like these decisions are going to be so fascinating to me on Thursday night?
Well, sure, and you really can't tell what direction the Giants are going to go until we see how it unfolds in front of them. And no idea.
And as we sit here right now, the Giants have the 11th pick, the Cowboys have the 10th pick, and the Eagles have the 12th pick.
Yeah.
So the whole division is picking one after the next.
Yeah, and I'm tired of some of these. Well, this team could surprise. This team could trade up. Don't be surprised if this team trades up to get a quarterback.
That's the point about this draft. I don't think anybody really truly knows what's going to happen.
Well, we do with 1 and 2.
I don't see the Bengals trading out of it.
Okay.
And the Falcons, it sounds like they really want, this tight end, Pitts, out of Florida. So you may not get any trades at 4 and 5, but after that, I think it's open for business.
Let me ask you, the Bengals draft pick, does he get handed a replica jersey?
Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the red bell so you're notified when we have new content.